Hey guys, this is Primeval and welcome back to part 2 of my Deity series using Fruit Strike's No Quitters mod as the Iroquois. So, we need to choose what tech we want to go for. Now, there have been changes to patronage that give you huge boosts to making or sending trade routes to city-states, so we could definitely start unlocking some trade routes, although all of our production is going to be tied up with settler production for the foreseeable future. So no rush there. Going for writing would let some of our satellite cities work on libraries fairly soon, which would be reasonable if we want to get our national college online soon, which is a good plan. As for other appealing techs, we're not going to be racing for any wonders, so picking up, say, masonry or mathematics, at least in the immediate future, doesn't really make too much sense for me. The longhouse is going to be really powerful here. With the mod, we do get, in addition to the +1 production from forests, the boosts from the workshop as well. So +2 base production and +10% production. So getting over to there at some point would be really nice. The other appealing option is to get the civil service bonus. That's +1 food from tiles with fresh water. So that's the main two that I am debating between. And so if we don't want to make that choice right now, we can split the difference and go down to mathematics, which is a prerequisite for both. Excellent. All right, so policy time. We've got our free settler. Let's quickly check, make sure we have that settler's not going to be snapped up by any barbarians. The settler will have movement, so even if he does pop up over here, I expect he'll pop up over here, but he should be safe from that hand axe. So let's go and grab collective rule here. We will finish off the granary and have some of that bonus food turn into production for us. In fact, let's try to speed this up a little. So going over here stagnates us. We don't want that. Alright, well at least our new citizens are going to have some good production tiles to work now that the horses are revealed. And let's scout this guy to the north. We're the first to meet Geneva. Faith from meeting religious city-states has been removed in the NQMod, so you're not going to get a lucky boost to your hopes in founding a religion off of city-states. Alright, so this is a little riskier since radaring has been removed, but I do want to get over here, so let's chance it. So far so good. Yes, and Daniel points out a nice little trick here. What we could have done, since the Iroquois treat forests within their cultural borders as roads, if we had bought this forest tile, we could have had more movement sent this guy right down over to here, and then settled directly on the citrus, avoiding the need to actually improve citrus, so it would be hooked up right away. But what I want to settle is adjacent to the mountain, most likely on this hill. And that means that I am going to have to build a road here and culture connect if I do want to hook up to the capital. But we will have well, we're going to improve both of these tiles, so that gets rid of those forests, but we will have, let's see, 2 free road pieces. I forget now, do the Iroquois also get the road bonus off of jungles? I'll probably check that at some point, but I think it's only forests. Now, well, I should check that now, but we'll see if the chat can answer that question before I need to go poking around in the Civilpedia. Alright, so everyone is saying that the jungles work as roads as well, so that's really nice. We might not actually end up improving this silk then. And once we have universities up, that'll be a nice food science gold tile, and then that'll be a free road system that runs through here. Cool. Well, not through the citrus, but actually, free roads over this way? Yeah, that would be pretty nice. Okay, so as for this worker, he will be safe hiding, say, over here for now. And let's get to work on the mine. And we should probably hunt down that hand axe before he makes too much more trouble for us. Ah, yes, that extra movement in the forests is super nice. Alright, well, if the hand axe decides to get closer for now, let's just heal up the remaining hit points. And Matter Zero is pointing out that rather than waiting out for the extra science from the jungle, if we left the forests, we'd have extra production from the longhouse. Alright, so that's a real question. Should we improve the forest silk or the jungle silk? The forest silk will be faster to improve since chopping forests is faster than clearing jungles, and it'll get us a immediate, although modest, production boost as the hammers from chopping the forest will go to our capital and speed along our settlers. So I'm leaning towards clearing the forest, but we can leave. If it doesn't look like we're going to get much profit out of selling silk to our neighbors, we can leave this other silk unimproved as well. Alright, so I do want to settle right here. Has Kuala Lumpur grabbed Lake Victoria yet? No, they haven't. And next turn. Alright, so let's go and settle our first city. We are going to go unhappy briefly, and our worker here is in danger of being captured, so we should probably pull him back. And we can get to work on another settler here. Maybe we'll be able to grab Lake Victoria. That's going to finish sooner thanks to this worker who's going to chop down that forest. And we will settle right here. We're going to be unhappy briefly. But that'll be fine. Let's get to work on the monument. We do want to expand to all of those tiles. Production focus, and since we're unhappy, we will work the 1 food, 2 hammer tile rather than the 2 food, 1 hammer tile. And up over this way. Looks like it is all on the coast and all tied up by city-states. Okay, let's get that improved then. And not close enough to deal any damage. Fortify. Let's make sure the tiles we're working make sense for settler production. Right now, we are at base 3 food. I don't have better tiles to work. I've got the 2 horses, which, well, can switch over like that. And base 4 food. So we're getting more by working the granary enhanced tiles. Since that food, the 4 extra food is being converted to 3 extra hammers. Right, so over here we do get more gold if we were working the gens instead, but the 1 extra food gets us the 1 extra hammer there. Don't think we can do better. Alright, so that'll be fine. Hey Nudnik, we've been playing with this mod for about 40 minutes now. So far, the changes have definitely made things interesting, and I'm definitely excited to be playing the Iroquois now that their longhouse also provides the workshop bonus. So we'll see how all of that goes. And we do have a bunch of hand axes wandering around. It's a little scary. Soon this spearman is going to need to depart to escort that settler. And, well, we could send him over this way, pick up the iron, pick up the furs. It would be quite the provocation excuse me, for the Celts. Or we could go and try to settle that city by Lake Victoria. I think that's what I'm going to try to do, the Lake Victoria city. So, we need to start clearing out these barbs, probably. Well, we'll wait here for now, and next turn we'll start moving the spearmen. Okay, so... it would seem that we're on the the northwest corner of this Pangea. To the south, we've got one neighbor, the Siamese, and then to the east, we've got the Celts, and we haven't, well, we've met Portugal. They're somewhere in here, presumably. Daniel suggests buying a unit to escort the settler or guard our worker, and that seems like what we're going to have to do here. Alright, what way is going to be safer? Going up this way seems like it's going to be safer. And do I want to waste 190, well, 140 for an archer? 2 turns. We could always build one. Alright, let's spend some turns building out an archer, since I do need to save some of that gold to buy Lake Victoria. Hopefully the city-state isn't going to grab that before we do, but that may well be what ends up happening. Alright, we can actually found a pantheon here. What's going to be useful for us? We do have tons of silk. Is there something that gets us a bonus for silk without necessitating improving the tile? Because there's some more silk over here as well. Let's see, what pantheon options do we have? Culture from shrines could be nice, especially if we're going to be founding a lot of cities. That'll be some very welcome bonus culture. Tundra plantations. Daughter of Autumn silk plantations does require us to improve stuff here. Let's see. We do have a lot of barbarians to kill within our borders here, so God of War, was it? Could be an option. Let's see what that gives us, or if I'm even thinking of the right thing. Alright, well let's go through them in order, since I couldn't jump to the pantheon that I'm thinking of. And while we're doing this, I'm sure the Twitch chat has some interesting suggestions to make. I don't want to go one with nature, since I'm not sure I can actually get Lake Victoria here. +1 food and faster border growth, so that's a slight buff to religious settlements. Just the plain border growth on its own was not really the most exciting. Faith from deer. We have 1 deer, and then 1, 2, 3, potentially 2 deer. That would be as good as one with nature. Alright, so I might be imagining the pantheon that would give me faith from kills near the city. Matter Zero is endorsing Goddess of Weaving, which sounds like a new pantheon. Let's Goddess of Weaving. Culture from silk and cotton. Hey, that would be really good if we can spare the citizens to actually work those tiles. And those tiles would get better with the university and the longhouse, respectively. So, yeah, Goddess of Weaving is looking really good. Not Your Average Doorstop is endorsing spirit animals. Spirit animals, what does that get us? Faith for horse, deer, ivory fur, and bison. We've got 2 horses in the capital, 2 deer. Our expansion city could potentially have 2 horses and a bison. That would be nice faith if we could expand in that direction. What else are people saying? Lake Victoria has already been grabbed. Oh man! Oh, Red Fury. Thank you for crushing all of my dreams. Let's see. Spirit animals. The AI must have already taken it. It's called God of War, says Matter Zero. Fair enough. Alright, so I'm actually liking whatever the weaving pantheon, goddess of weaving. So that's silk and cotton. We've got potentially 4 silk. That's both culture and faith. Overall, we'll be getting more off of the whole spirit animal business. So that's assuming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these tiles here are actually better than the silk tiles, at least until we get the longhouse and universities online. All right, so let's keep in mind that we're about to settle a 3rd city. We could potentially get some more silk. We could potentially get some more horses. This guy's probably gonna go for the whales then, or we should maybe do an aggressive settle on the Celts. Now that Lake Victoria plan is out. Alright, let's this is a nice city spot, but it's not necessarily one that I need to rush for. Which means I should settle some cities that will forward settling on the AI does help you retain your borders and unlock out stuff for yourself, but it also makes them much more likely to attack you. And since I've already kind of forward settled on Siam, maybe I'll go for something else. Matter Zero is endorsing God of Craftsmen, especially on Liberty. And Nodek wants to know what God of Craftsmen is. It's the one that grants +2 production to each of your cities. So we could definitely go for that. And while it's not really the most exciting of pantheons, it'll definitely be useful early game. Alright, so I think I want to go for those furs then. We'll go and settle on the Celts. They've cleared out that camp. And now it's time for us to make a choice. I'm going to get immediate gains working the deer and the horse here. No one's working the silk. So if I take the Goddess of Weaving, I'm not going to get any benefits off of that right away unless I want to reduce my total production and food, which I don't think is a sacrifice I want to make right now. Let's go. Alright, we'll go with, we are about to settle a 3rd city, so God of Craftsman's going to get us +6 production. That's going to be pretty nice. It's not as exciting, it doesn't get us nice fancy tile yields, but God of Craftsman it is. Don't say I never listen to the chat. Why is my cap on gold focused? So we can switch that over to production now, but I had that set when we had a much smaller cultural border radius and there were no high production tiles for us to work. Okay, so with that over and done with, we need to decide where exactly we want to settle with this settler. Let's get rid of that hand axe. And as for tiles we're working, that all seems fine. Choose production, another settler. We are Liberty after all. And 1, 2, 3. We could settle right on the sheep. That would be a bit of a waste, but we would have the hill bonus, fresh water, right beside the furs as well. We would have the horses. Yeah, that's not a bad spot. Alright, so choosing production monument. Done. We could grab a shrine. A granary would also be welcome, although we don't have granary enhanceable resources. We could go for an archer or a caravan. I think we need a caravan. If we go look on Deity, of course, we're way behind on literacy. Setting up a trade route with one of those guys, so long as it's going to be free of pillaging from barbarians, would be a very good plan. So it looks like this area could be free from barbarians. So we'll get that rolling. One, two, three. Up over to here. BB Morty. So the reason that I set governors to a particular focus is to decide where the new citizen goes. And at the beginning of the game, these were my workable tiles. I had not yet revealed iron. So I wanted the new citizen to drop on the most profitable tile. Now, the default governor would probably have placed him there anyways, but just to make sure that happened, I set him to gold focus so that we would get the maximum gold from the new citizen, since there was no way to maximize production. That's why we were initially set to gold focus, but now production focus definitely makes sense for where we want to be. Alright, so we've got this silk hooked up. We can finally go and start working on the gems. Expanded to the bison, that's good. And Cyan has built the Parthenon. Okay, so we'll do a little more scouting with the spearmen, just in case there's a far superior settle spot if we were to move over slightly. I wouldn't say that there is, so let's drop this city right now. We would go unhappy again. That's fine. Alright, down the city, production focus, and get to work on our monument. This guy should also be on production focus, and he is. And yes, BB Morty, I do plan on playing some NQ games at some point in the future. I'm not sure when I'll have a free weekend to do the full 6-8 hour game, but I am going to be playing some multi-session multiplayer on Tuesday. If anyone's interested in joining, do let me know or show up on the Tuesday. Probably better to let me know in advance, just in case there are lots of interested parties. You can sign up in advance. No skill level is required, but I would appreciate it if you tested out your ability to play multiplayer once beforehand for technical reasons. So if the game happens to be really laggy when you're in a game, obviously that's not an ideal situation. So at least play one test game before you join my game, so that you know that your internet setup and all the rest can handle CIV5 multiplayer. Alright, so where do we want to send this next settler? This is something you should definitely plan out before you produce the settler. Maybe we'll reveal something good over to the east. Nothing here yet. What I really want is unique luxuries. So for example, this gold, but that would definitely make the Siamese angry. Let's have a look at military strength. We are, of course, the lowest. The Celts are the highest, so they would be kind of scary to attack. How many cities are they on? 3 cities. That's not so bad. Siam's also on 3 cities. The only unique luxury, we've got the whales, and then we've got the gold. I guess we can start moving over towards the whales. We don't have a nice hill next to the mountain. So the multi-session game, Nudnik, is going to be at this time slot. It's going to be an hour from 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 8:30 a.m. And we'll keep on playing depending on the availability of all of the players, either every day, every weekday morning at that time, or select weekdays. Okay, but in either event, the settler's going to need an escort. We're already going to have citrus. Alright, is there anything else that I really want to pick up here? There's copper. Alright, let's start heading over towards the copper, and then the chat is absolutely right. We are going to have to do something about the Celts. I gotta love that free road-like movement through forests and jungles. Alright, so settler done there. Let's, given all of these hand axes that are running around, let's get one more military unit. And we'll need those against the Celts in any case. Alright, so if we want the copper, we could settle directly on the copper. That wouldn't be bad. It would be fairly safe. All of the hills would slow approaching enemies. Plus the hill itself gets us a boost to combat strength. Alright, let's plan to settle over there. But this is going to be the last turn for today's stream. I'll be streaming again on Monday in the same time slot, and then we'll see how the multi-session game goes on Tuesday and how we're going to balance the two series. I don't think I have any time to stream tomorrow, but we will definitely be continuing this series. In any case, that's it for me today. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you'll be able to catch the stream again on Monday. And if not, this series will be posted over to my YouTube channel. There will be a Monday stream.